All right, hello. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you to what could potentially be your final semester or probably a semester away from graduation. So, the Capstone course is designed for students who are in their final semesters. And really is an opportunity for you to start to dabble more in the industry. So I'll talk a little bit more here in a bit about what that means. But I just want to take this chance to introduce you to obviously the course and to myself. So my name is Andrea. I am the department chair for physical and agricultural sciences. We're actually in the process right now of splitting that department. So eventually I will be the department chair for agricultural sciences only, but we're in this transition stage, if you will. So I will be the instructor for your capstone class this semester. I like to do a video announcement right out of the gate to just give you a quick crash course introduction to the way in which I teach. I did take a look at the roster, and there's several of you on the roster that have had me in other classes before, so you probably know my style and know how to navigate through my Blackboard shells. But there was a handful of you that I'm not sure I've ever actually had the opportunity to meet. So I do just want to take a quick chance to give you a quick crash course into how I utilize Blackboard. And then I want to spend some time talking about the capstone course specifically and what you can expect from me over the entire semester. So with that, let's just take a little crash course here. So you're always going to land on the announcement page, and that is where I will communicate with you. Any due dates that are coming up, anything that you should be thinking about, those sorts of things. So be checking your announcements. I always make sure when I send an announcement or post an announcement that I also send it to your CWI email. So you should also be checking your CWI email regularly for those things that are coming up that you want to make sure that you are aware of. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see there is my faculty information. So there is a direct link there for you to email me. There's also a phone number. Please know that because of COVID, we're not working on campus as much. I'm still teaching face-to-face classes, so I'm still on campus, but I'm not always the most easily accessible through my CWI phone number. So just be aware of that. I do have office hours for you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so you'll notice over on the left-hand link when we get to syllabus, you'll see those virtual office hours. So you're welcome to connect with me during those specific times, but also know that if those specific times don't work for you, then I'm more than happy to schedule a meeting with you. And that meeting can be via Zoom, it can be in person. Just shoot me an email. I'm very responsive, and we'll make sure that we get something set up if you need help navigating through something. So don't hesitate to do that. There's a little biography here. It is, I think, critical for students to know who their instructor is, to know that we are humans too, and we have lives outside of our jobs like most of us do. So this is my family, and my family means the world to me. I have a 7-year-old, her name's Paisley. I have a 4-year-old, her name is Hattie. Right now we are navigating the first grade. Right now she's remote learning, so she's actually home 5 days a week, which has been a real struggle for our family, but we're navigating through it. This is my husband, Will. He's a super cool dude. He's a middle school principal at Victory Middle, and also teaches some agriculture classes here on campus. So some of you may have had him for an animal science course along the way. I also really love food, so I always tell people, like, any chance I get, how awesome food is. So I love growing a garden. I love cooking food. I've really gotten into fermentation within the last year or so. So I do a lot of lacto ferments. I make my own kombucha. I'm really into supporting local farmers and those sorts of things. So you'll probably hear me geek out about vegetables and gardening and all those sorts of things somewhere along the way. And then the other thing that I like to do, especially as it gets warmer, right now I'm not doing it. Right now I'm actually rebuilding a 68 Chevy C10 pickup, but I love to be out at the racetrack. So we do club racing out at Firebird. If you've ever been out there over the last couple of years, you might see what looks like the farm truck, and that's the truck that I get to race. And it's just been super fun for me and my family to be able to do that. So that's a little bit about me. I hope that I get to learn more about you throughout the semester. Like I said, I noticed on the roster some of you I've had in class, but there are a handful of you that I have not met yet. So I'm super excited about that. So also over on the left-hand side, you'll notice there is a link to your course syllabus, and there's several ways that you can view this. You can click on the PDF directly and download it and save it. It's embedded within the module, or there's a link here to click as well. The one thing I will mention as you're scrolling through the course syllabus is you will notice that there is this course calendar. And I do encourage you to take some time, definitely in the first week, to place that course calendar in a place that's good for you. So if that means transferring those dates into a calendar, like an agenda or something, if it means putting it on an Outlook or a Google Calendar so that you get reminders of when things are due. But I do really encourage you to take a look at the course calendar and understand and know what's on the horizon. The way that the course is set up is everything is due weekly. And those weekly due dates are always on Monday by midnight. So you have access to the course module for an entire week, but then you need to ensure that everything is submitted by that Monday deadline. So I would take a look at your course syllabus, make sure that you commit those things to memory so that you do know what is on the horizon. Like I mentioned underneath the syllabus, so if you scroll further down, this is where you can click directly into my office hours. So if you do need to connect with me during those times, I definitely encourage you to utilize that time that is set aside for you as the student. But I also understand that these days and times may not work for all of you. So if you do need to connect with me during another time, like I said, just shoot me a quick email and I'd be more than happy to set up something for you. The way that I structure my courses is I place everything into a learning module. So you'll see the week 1 learning module will be open when your Blackboard course shell opens. Courses start on Tuesday. I send this announcement out a little bit in advance just to get you ready, to give you some reminders so that when classes do start on Tuesday, you can actually log in and start accessing your course material and navigating through the class. So everything's embedded within a learning module. Those modules open, like I said, Monday, and then the things that are in that module that are due the following Monday. The way that I structure all of my learning modules is there's always a course announcement that just kind of highlights what you should be doing for the week. There's always a weekly checklist that outlines those things that you should be thinking of as you're navigating through the week. And then any materials that you need for that are also embedded within that learning module. So if you need to submit something, your assignment submission is in there. All of those things live within that learning module. The only other thing that is out there is a Capstone forum. We won't touch on this quite yet. Definitely within the first week, I want you to think about where you might be spending some time with your internship. And this gives me an opportunity to really kind of just take a chance to help explain what Capstone is all about. So the first 5 weeks are really set aside for those final steps, right? So developing your professional philosophy, ensuring that you are in fact close to graduation and should be in this class because it is your final semester, or you may be a semester away from graduating. And then we focus on resume, we focus on cover letter, we focus on how to network. If I am thinking about transferring on, where am I going to transfer to? If I'm thinking about going out and working within the industry, where might I see myself working? So the first 5 weeks are very specific to those outcomes. The last really 10, 11 weeks, if you will, is set aside for a specific internship. And the one thing I will say is the internship could be a challenge this semester. So if you aren't in your final semester, you might consider holding off to take this course until the fall semester. And the reason that I say that is because COVID is still very, very real, and a lot of our industry partners aren't ready to have somebody that's not an employee doing an internship with them. So we have a handful of folks that are, and I really want to ensure that the folks that are graduating can utilize those experiences so that we're not holding them up from graduation. So know that you do have to complete an internship as part of this capstone experience. So If now is not the time, I would totally understand if you needed to withdraw from the class and come back in the fall semester, because you're still going to be with us through the fall semester. But know that if you're graduating, we do have some opportunities where we have some employers that might be willing to facilitate an internship for you. And I really want you to think about what that will look like for you. So where do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself working in the animal science industry? And if so, are you interested in animal science production? Are you interested in business? Are you going the veterinarian route? And so it would be really helpful to work at a vet clinic. Really think about, like, where do you see yourself going with your degree? If you're one of our ag business leadership education majors, you've got a whole plethora of different opportunities available to you. So maybe you are thinking agricultural business and you're looking at ag lending or being a loan officer, and so working for a credit union that's really embedded within agriculture. Or if you're interested in ag education and extension, you might see yourself working as a high school ag teacher or at an extension office doing more of that non-traditional education. Ag communications, you might see yourself working for a commodity group or something along the lines of that. So maybe the Idaho Beef Council or the Wool Growers Association or the Barley Commission, to really just communicate the importance of agriculture and the industry. So I really want you to spend some time this week thinking, like, where do I see myself with this ag degree? So that as we start thinking about what that capstone experience should be, we can tailor that to your needs to get you the best possible experience. So with that, again, I do want to welcome you to the spring semester. Like I said, COVID is still very, very real, but know that your instructors are happy to work with you and navigate through that. Again, I hope this is your final semester, or you're like a few classes away from it being your final semester, because I do want to reserve those capstone internship opportunities for those students while we're still navigating some of the unknown centered around COVID. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you navigate along the way. I will schedule some checkpoints throughout the semester where you will be required to check in with me, likely just so we can talk about where you're at, how you're doing, those sorts of things. So again, I wish you the best of luck this semester. I hope that if you have questions, if you have comments, concerns, that you reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to help you.